Hey everybody, we are going to talk today about a question that came up recently, and I was like, this is a video that's probably long overdue. I may or may not have talked about like pieces of how I do this, but it was time for a whole video just on this topic. So if you are somebody who is shy, if you're an introvert, if you are not somebody who's going to run up to other people when you're out in public, maybe you don't necessarily want to go up to somebody and start a conversation, I got you covered, okay? I got you completely covered. You want to know why? Because that's me. Here's the thing, okay? I have said this since I originally joined Scentsy, and this was one of the reasons that I was like, I can't be a consultant, because I am not a salesperson. I hate being a salesperson. I don't like it. I don't want anything to do with it. It makes me feel icky. It makes me feel awkward and weird, and I don't like it. So when I see and hear other Scentsy consultants and they're like, oh, everywhere I go, I'm passing out samples and I'm doing this and I'm running up to people and I'm always around it and I'm having these conversations. Okay, that is amazing. If that is you, then oh my goodness, I am so excited for you. Go do you. But if you are not, if maybe you're somebody like me who, and maybe you're like, Jacqui, you're not an introvert. Okay, I totally am in person, okay? I am not somebody who's gonna just go up to somebody at the store or at the gym or whatever and be like, hey, I noticed that you're looking at candles, or I noticed you like things that smell good, or I don't know. I don't even know how those conversations start because I don't have them, friends. I don't have them. So here's how I do it. Now, I've done this a couple of different ways over the years. One of the, I want to say most notorious, but one of the ways that I am probably most known for doing this is doing my drop and go. It's a drop and go tactic, okay? Here's the thing. I told you, I don't like the awkward back and forth. It makes me feel awkward. I have anxiety. And normally when I'm out like running errands or whatever, right? Like I'm in my head, I'm already in my zone. I'm either here to get what I need to get done so I can get home, so I can go to work, so I can do all the things, right? Like I can't. So I do the drop and go method. And here's how I've evolved the drop and go method over the years. So it originally started, I would just carry business cards with me. Okay, so some of you may or may not even have business cards. Maybe you've got the Popple thing on your phone, you know, where you do like the, touch your phone, whatever. If you've got that, awesome. Okay, so you can start out kind of slow like that. If you don't have business cards, or if you've never ordered yourself business cards, hop on Canva, friends. You can hop on Canva, you can create your own business cards, just print them out at home. If you want to do it on cardstock, you can do it that way, get a little fancy, print them on regular paper. Who really cares anymore, right? But I will say the thing that has helped me the most is putting a QR code on on literally everything that I hand out, because in the day and time that we're in, QR codes are everywhere. Okay, people know how to use a QR code. They're very familiar with it. And to me, it doesn't make me feel salesy, because it's not like shooting my website out there. It's not like shooting, hey, come buy from me out there, but it's a QR code and it's going to take them somewhere, right? Like it's got a whole purpose and intent, and I like that, and it looks non-threatening. So I like that a lot. So how I originally started doing the drop and go method was I would just carry a business card, and then I would do like a business card and maybe I would like staple a sample to the back of it. So depending on what samples you're working with, again, it's just like whatever I would have on hand. And I would literally just staple that to a business card. I would keep a handful of them in my purse or in my bag. And I would like at the end, at the grocery store, right? Like after we've already done the checkout, I've paid, I've done my little boop, boop, boop. And then I'm like, oh, by the way, I have one of these extra. And I would like leave it and run. Okay, and run. Okay, so that was how it originally started. So maybe that's a good place for you to start. How I've evolved over time is I actually got this idea from one of my I just love her to pieces. Rihanna Franco. And Ree has done so many great things in the Scentsy community over the years, but this is one thing that has always just stuck with me. And every month that I do it, I'm always reminded of her because I learned it from her. Now, I would say every month. I'm pretty good about doing it every month. Every month, I make up 10 packets, and they're called my Impress Me packets. So here is an example. I've got 4 left. I've already handed out 6. So I only have 4 left, and these are probably still left over from April, because April and the beginning of May was like a total whirlwind, and I was traveling and all the things were happening. So yeah, I didn't like do a whole new batch. So these are still from what I made up at the beginning of April. But anyway, what my goal is to make 10 of these Impress Me packets up, and I keep them in my bag, in my purse, whatever it is that I'm kind of carrying around, okay? And it's just an upscale version of the drop and go, but it's evolved over the years, right? I want to say that I've grown from the business card. While that's a great method, while that still works beautifully, right? I really wanted to capture attention, and I wanted to do it in a different and unique way. And when I saw redoing these Impress Me packets, or You Impressed Me packets, I was like, that has me written all over it. And so I immediately started making these, and I've kind of made them ever since. I have worked them into, like I said, more of my monthly routine of things. So I do have them, and I try and challenge myself to hand out all 10. Now, if you want to start off a little slower, if you want to, again, remember, you do you, boo. So you do you at your speed, okay? Just because I'm on this speed doesn't mean you have to be on this speed. We're all doing this our own way, okay? So maybe 10 is too many for you. Maybe you don't get out a whole lot. Maybe start with 3 a month. Maybe you start with 5 a month. It doesn't really matter, right? Okay. So just do what works comfortable for you. If you're somebody who is out a whole bunch, maybe you need more. Okay. So scale up and down as needed. You impress me. Okay. One of my biggest things is customer service. I love good customer service, and I crave good customer service. So my husband and I, we have favorite lunch spots, dinner spots, date spots, right? Because we already know that it's somewhere that we feel comfortable. We either like the food, or they're always really great for us. The service is really great, right? So you guys are probably maybe like me, right? You tend to go to the places that you get good customer service, I would bet, okay? Now, this is why it's progressed from just a simple business card with a sample drop and go, okay? So this is my way of creating a conversation without having the awkward conversation. This is my way. So what this is, and you guys know every time that I show you something that I made in Canva, I always share the template. So the template will be linked below here in the group, and then when this goes on YouTube, it'll be in the description of the video, okay? So you'll be able to get the template, make it your own, put your spin on it. Remember, you do you, boo. Okay, so this is my template. And what it says is, you impressed me. I'm always looking for people just like you. Please accept these goodies as a gift from me for your excellent customer service today. I can't wait to follow up with you. Excellent customer service today. Okay, and then it says scan here to get in touch with me, to get in touch and get on my sample list. It's got my Instagram handle because it's my platform of choice, and then it's got my website over here. Okay, this is it. All right, this is it. It's just got my picture. You impressed me. So how I present this, right? So whether it's a server, whether we're out at dinner or lunch or whatever, or maybe I'm at TJ Maxx and the person who was ringing me up just was amazing, right? Whatever. It just is a way for me to say thank you. Now, another really great way that you can do this too, if you don't want to do something like this and you don't have time, whatever, scent circles work really great for this too. And you can just, one of my favorite tricks with a scent circle is to take Wow, this one. Let me show you one from my nurses. I have some left over from nurses week. I had a couple nurses that I didn't get to pass these out to, so I'm just saving the goodie bag so I can reuse them because I can reuse them, right? Okay. But I made these up for the nurses that I know and work with. So, because next year I'm going to be one. Okay. Anyway, so what I love to do with scent circles is pop open that flap and just write a little message. Now, this obviously was written for the nurses, but it can go for anybody, right? Thank you for all you do. Thank you for all you do, right? You can write whatever little message you want. This is like a perfect notepad spot. Have you guys ever noticed that? Okay, if you're not utilizing this as a notepad spot, utilize it as a notepad spot. Even if you're sending these out to your customers as a thank you gift and you're mailing them out or handing them out, whatever, putting them in orders, use this as your notepad spot. Write a little personal note, sign your name. People love that stuff. Okay, anyway, so you could do it that way too. But the Impress Me packet, again, is my way to recognize somebody who has given me great customer service. And again, it keeps me from that awkward conversation. Have you heard of Scentsy? Are you familiar with Scentsy? Do you know what Scentsy is? I sell Scentsy. Like, I can't do that. I've tried. I just can't do it. So what I can do is say, oh my gosh, you've been such a big help today. You are amazing. I just want to say thank you for being amazing. You were great today. And I literally will just hand them this packet, okay? So these packets, like I said, I make these up once a month, well, maybe once every 2 months, but I really try and do it once a month, right? And I try and challenge myself to hand out all 10. Like I said, I've got 6 handed out, so I've got 4 left over, so that's how I know how well I'm doing in life. But that's my goal, right? That's my goal, is to challenge myself to do that and to find people who are impressing me, because it's another thing I'm looking for, right? I'm challenging myself. It's me against me, people. So what I put in my packets, and you can make your packets and you can include whatever you want. This is how I have done mine. It is literally with stuff that I have already gotten on hand. That's it. I don't make anything extra special for these. Half the time, if I don't have any current samples, I'm throwing in samples that maybe got left over from Valentine's Day collection, whatever it was, right? So whatever I've got left over is basically what I'm using in these packets. So in these packets, and I can open one. I can put it in a different envelope. It's fine. I just use my clear, these are clear, these are 5x7 bags. They're just, again, bags that I keep on hand. So whatever bags you have, you can use. Okay, don't put yourself into a box here. All right, so I'm just gonna open it and I'll just put it in a new envelope or reseal it with a sticker, whatever. Anyway, okay, so it's got confetti in it because that's what I do. Hi, I'm Jacqui. Cue the confetti. Okay, so here's the Canva template, right? Okay, so I'll share that with you. So you've got that. That's just what I put on there. That goes in every single one. Then is a product list, and I have confetti all over my desk. I just put in a product list, right? And then I have a sticker on the inside on the back page of the product list, right? So that just goes in there. That's what's in there. All right, so then I put in some samples of things that I already have. So when I make up my samples, I always do a nice big batch, right? So I have my Scentsy Fresh samples. So again, these went into these, or the April Impress Me packets. Also in April, I made rat cards. You guys know. Gosh, I'm gonna have confetti everywhere. This is what my customers go through. This is what my team members go through when you get mail from me. Okay, this is it. All right. So you see, this is just my April rat card. It just has a picture of the warmer, and then that's a QR code to my Scentsy Club. Of course, there's my website on there, right? Because these went out to everybody, not just for these, right? Again, remember, these are things that I already had. And then I made some wax molds of the Sunshine Mango. So that is actually in here. Now, I don't keep these in the car, but if you do keep these in the car, just remember, use felt samples or even rub and sniff stickers, okay? Because that way nothing's gonna melt in your car and make a big old mess. So if this is something that's gonna stay in your car where it might get hot, tip to the wise, friends. Okay, so that's in there. I also always throw in a little bit of candy, and I like to use lifesavers because they're fun. And oh my gosh, there's a mark on the front of your. Okay, and then another thing that I just love to do, and again, if you know me, if you get mail from me, and my customers know, I always have vinyl stickers, and I always just throw a fun little vinyl sticker in there. So this is, right, this is something that if I were to be handed this, if I was somewhere and somebody was like, oh my gosh, you've been fantastic today, and they handed me this, I would just be so, again, it's kind of like with Happy Mail, right? When I'm sending my customers Happy Mail, normally what are they getting in the mail, right? Boring crap is what they're getting in the mail, okay? So the same thing when you have a server at a restaurant, or the lady at the bank, or the guy at the car wash, you know, whatever it is, whoever is impressing you, okay? And maybe it's not just good customer service. Maybe it's just they did you a favor, or they, I don't know, right? Whatever. Fill in the blank, okay? Ooh, look, I was already able to just reseal it. Okay, that worked out well. Aside from all the confetti everywhere. Okay, so again, I just keep these, right? And so that gives me an opportunity to have that conversation. I don't feel awkward about it. I don't have to go in depth about what Scentsy is, right? This is all stuff that even if they don't have any clue what Scentsy is, or they don't like things that smell good, which I don't know very many people who don't, but especially if it's free, right? Again, the Scentsy fresh sample that's in there, hello, if they don't like Scentsy, at least they have a little Scentsy fresh they can spray in their car, or in their office cubicle, or in their bag, or whatever, right? Whatever, I don't care, spray it on themselves. It's water soluble, okay? It's fine. So I like having that in there. I like putting a wax sample. These are things that, again, I'm going to pass out, and I don't keep the wax ones in my car for obvious reasons. Like I said, these are usually in my day bag or in my actual purse that I'm carrying around. So I keep, when I make up the batch, I keep them in my office, and I will throw a handful into my bag. And then when I use the last one, or if I give away the last one, then I will just throw a couple more in my bag. So literally they're in there in like 2s or 3s. That's kind of how they go, in my purse or in my bag. So when they're gone, I just put a few more in. That's it, right? So I'm not trying to overwhelm myself. I'm not trying to carry around another huge bag, because Lord only knows I carry around enough crap everywhere I go. I don't need to carry around more. But like I said, this is all stuff that even if they didn't care about Scentsy, maybe they do know Scentsy and they just don't like it, whatever, right? This is all stuff that at least might make them a little happy. It might bring a little smile to their face. It's some candy, it's a sticker. But like I said, you can honestly put in these Impress Me packets anything that you have on hand. Do you have extra samples laying around? If not, make up some samples and make up some Impress Me packets, okay? If you don't have all of that stuff, you just want to do something simple, use a scent circle and write on the back of it. You don't want to do that, that's just too much too, fine. Take a business card and staple it to it, and instead of doing the whole You Impress Me packet, you could just say the same thing. Hey, oh my gosh, thanks so much for giving me, or matching that price for me. I really appreciate that, because that saved me some money. I just want to say thank you. You were just amazing. I've got this sample, and here's my card. I do this on the side, so here, right? Like, honestly, that is how I give out samples. That's how I do it. Now, this may not be for everybody, okay? But for those of you who are like me, and maybe you're not somebody who wants to go and start a whole conversation, or is just not comfortable doing it, or it makes you just feel uncomfortable and you start sweating and you're like, I don't know what to do, this is a really great way to get around that. Now, I will say that there really isn't a great way for me to follow up when I hand out these Impress Me packets. I always like to, and if you have caught one of my latest videos on how to follow up on samples that you give out, that's a really great way to do it. Now, for me, because I'm not going to have the whole conversation, I'm literally giving and going, right? Usually it says drop and go. Remember, that's my action plan. Okay, drop and go. But if you are somebody who does feel maybe a little bit more comfortable, or maybe once you start doing this, you start to feel a little bit more comfortable, you can always say, hey, can I just get your cell phone number and I can text you so I can follow up? Because next month, oh my gosh, we've got some really awesome stuff coming up. And I know I'll be back here at Target anyway, and I can check to see when you're working and I can bring you another little goodie bag, right? That's a really great way that you could get their information. So again, you can follow up with them. You can be like, hey, you know, do you work on the weekends? I'm probably going to swing by the grocery store and I'll have some samples and I thought I'd drop a couple off to you, right? So again, it's just another really great way that you can keep in touch and kind of keep tabs on the things that you're giving out. So if that is something that maybe you feel up to, you feel comfortable doing, you could totally do that. Another thing that I did for a while, and I've kind of gotten away from it. Well, no, I haven't actually. If you actually scan this QR code, yes, you can. I was like, it's not on here anymore. That's just on my website. No, it's not. This QR code that I have on my You Impressed Me little mailer there, or printout, whatever. This actually takes them to my catch-all jot form. And my catch-all jot form just says, connect with Jacqui, right? And it says, you know, what are you interested in? It's literally a catch-all. Okay, this is a jot form that I use for a lot of things, right? But what it's doing is it's capturing information, right? So it's asking them for their name, their email address, their cell phone number, and it will ask them on the jot form, and you'll see it because I'm sharing the Canva template, so you can feel free to look at that too, right? But what it says is, would you like to receive text messages from me to be updated on products? I think it also asks maybe what their favorite scent family is or something. I don't know. There's just a couple little short, it's a very short form, but just basic questions. Okay, just some basic questions. So what that jot form is doing for me is when they get this and they're like, oh my gosh, that was so awesome. And then later on after their shift, they get home or whatever, and they're like, oh, let me just scan this. And they scan this and it takes them to their jot form. And if they fill it out, then that's already pulling them into my sales funnel, right? Or my customer funnel. And who knows, they may end up never ordering from me. Maybe they end up ordering something from me or contacting me if they want to see if I have anything on hand. Or maybe they eventually become a team member. Who knows where that might lead them, right? But again, it's funneling them into my world. It's connecting me with that person. So if they're filling that out, awesome, right? I'm not asking them to fill it out, right? Because what am I doing? I drop and go, right? I literally drop and go. So this is up to them what they do with it. Maybe they give it to a friend. I don't really care, okay? Maybe it's totally not their thing and they're like, I hate things that smell good. Take this from me. That's fine. That next person in line will hopefully love it and maybe contact me, or maybe place an order with me, or maybe just reach out to me. Who knows? So this is my way of how I personally get around having the awkward conversations. I know. It may seem like I should be able to do this in my sleep, but like I said, honestly, it is not me. I am not that person. I wish I could be. I have tried to be. But the drop and go method works well because like I said, I'm able to just really not only show my appreciation, and my love language is not only just Scentsy, right? But it's making people feel good. I want to leave people with a good impression. And here's the thing, you guys. If you're going to leave somebody with a good impression, leave them with a good impression. It doesn't have to be all of this. Remember, it can just be as simple as you want it. But if you've got extra samples already made up, then why not? I will tell you, when I first started doing these, I didn't really challenge myself, so I wasn't doing them on like a monthly or even every other month basis. I was doing them like every few months and making up a small batch. And then I really had to get into the habit of making sure I at least had one in my purse to be able to hand out. But once you start getting into that routine of kind of having those on hand, you will find that this is just a much easier way to make a connection with somebody. Again, make them feel good. My philosophy is this: if I can make one person smile today, then I've done my job. one person. I don't care who that person is. If I can make them smile today, I've done my job as a person, just as a human in general, okay? But this is my love language. This is what I like to do. I like to be able to make people feel special, make them feel like they're standing out a little bit, right? So this is just one way for me to do that and not feel awkward about doing it with a complete stranger. Because I do. I feel awkward doing that with a complete stranger. So there you go. There's my Impress Me packets. I hope that this inspires you. Feel free to take this idea, run with it, make it your own, scale it to you and your business, whatever it is that is working for you. And if this has helped, please share with a friend, because again, we want to bring one smile to one person's face at least once today. Bye, guys.